Okay. Okay, so I will give everybody, let's say, we'll start in 3 minutes. So if you are on, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. We'll have a chat box. So if you aren't familiar with how Zoom works, I will mute everybody. So there's not going to be all kinds of noise while I'm talking. And you can say hi in the chat box. So it's pretty simple. Yeah, everybody who hops on, just make sure your mic is muted. If you're not muted, I will just mute everybody. So yeah, we'll have a few minutes. So I'm going to mute myself and you can introduce yourself, say where you're watching from, and also what you're most excited to learn. Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes for you guys. I'm going to turn my camera off and my mic off. So yeah, alrighty. Okay, so everybody can continue introducing if you haven't yet. So how this is going to work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, why womb healing is so powerful, why I love it. I'm going to share a couple testimonials from my clients so you can see how it impacts people differently in each of their lives because we're all different. We all have different needs. We all have different desires for why we're here. So I want to share a little bit about that before we dive into it. Then we're going to go into some physical things that you can do to help heal your womb. And then we're going to go into some energetic, more emotionally rooted ways to help heal the womb space. And I'm going to guide you through one of my favorite meditations ever, my womb meditation. Some of you may have heard it before. Some of you, I might have done a session on in here. There's a couple of you that I'm seeing on here that have done this with me before, but I'm super excited to lead all of us. There's going to be such powerful, potent energy. And I think all of you who are showing up here right now, and anybody who's going to be watching the replay. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you contributing your energy here. So let's go ahead and let's set an intention. You can set an intention with me. Let's just set an intention to come in here with an open heart, an open mind, and to take exactly what we need, get exactly what we need, and to actually integrate this into our lives. Because it's one thing to learn this. It's one thing to hear it and to resonate with it, but then taking it to the next level and actually getting the results takes you being willing to fully receive it and also incorporate that into your life. So that is my intention for you guys. My intention for me is to show up fully and just share everything that I know about this and have an amazing, fun time because I want this to be fun for you guys. So if you want to set an intention, go ahead, drop one in the chat box. You don't have to, but just an option. Yay, I know so many Boston. Okay, let's see, where's everybody from? Boston, Ohio, Houston. I'm in San Diego, just so you guys know. Houston, Utah, Arkansas, Tulsa. New Jersey, Texas. Yay. Okay, El Paso. I think Tara is in San Diego too, but Debbie's in San Diego. Yay. Okay, awesome. You guys are from all over. Okay. And if for whatever reason I stop for a second, I just need water. For some reason, my mouth feels super dry right now. So just wanted to let you guys know if I take a pause. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to show you guys some slides. I wasn't going to do visual, but I feel like some people do learn better visually. So I figured, why not? Okay, sharing. And I'm going to pull up my slides. You guys are going to see my computer for a second. Okay, can we all see the slides? Give me a nod or something if you can see them. Okay, I think we can. Cool. All right, so I'm not going to be looking at the chat box while I'm going through these. I'll take pauses and if you have any questions, just drop them in there. That's how we're gonna do questions. And then at the end, we're gonna have a whole Q&A period. So if you're on here right now, you can get your questions answered. So I will take pauses for questions, just so you know. I won't be answering them as they pop up, or else it'll just take me forever to get through everything. So welcome to the Womb Healing Masterclass. Let me go ahead and actually start recording before I forget. Oh, I'm already recording. Okay, never mind. Okay, cool. That worked out. So the Womb Healing Masterclass. I am so excited for this. Womb healing is something I'm so passionate about because I have firsthand experienced how it has completely changed my life. I'm at this place and honestly, it's so funny because everybody who's had a womb healing session or has done a red tent, which is essentially a womb healing ceremony, a group ceremony with me, they recognize that it's almost so hard to put into words how much you feel different after you do womb healing. And it's something that is just so powerful and so potent. And once you feel it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this, and the line of work that I do, if you're not really familiar with me, if you're brand new to my world, I am a sensuality, empowerment mentor for women. I talk about all things sensuality, womb healing, sex, intimacy, relationships. And I'm so passionate about this because as women, we feel like we're broken. So often when something is going wrong in our sex life or our relationship, or we don't feel connected, or we don't even feel sexy or sensual in our bodies, it's because we think that we're broken. We think something's wrong with us. We think that we're not ever capable of feeling that way, and that's just a privilege for other people to feel sexy, to feel sensual, to feel connected and at home in their bodies. But honestly, this is a birthright for all of us. Everybody deserves to feel this way. We all can feel this way. And that was something that I struggled with for a lot of my life. I was raped in high school. I've had, been cheated on. I've had mentally abusive relationships, and just so many things. That's a long story, but I know a lot of us on here can relate. So just know that you're not alone. And this work is really what helped me move past my trauma and really come home to myself and really step fully into my power and feel like a sensual woman again. And when you feel into that and you have that energy radiating through you and you reclaim that power, you really do become unstoppable, and you really do feel like you can create and be anything that you want to be. So I think it's so important for us to, do womb healing and be open to it. And it might be something that you're like, okay, this sounds kind of weird. I'm not really sure about it. I know I had some emails from you guys that were saying that you felt scared. You just didn't know what to expect. And here's the thing. I'm here with you the whole time. I'm going to walk you through this whole process. And we're here in a group. We're here with tons of women on here. I think there's 40 of us on here right now. We're all here for each other. So know that you are held, you are heard, you are supported. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them for you. So don't be nervous. It's going to be fun. We're going to have an awesome time, and you're going to get all your questions answered. So let's dive into some of my favorite stories of clients when we did womb work. So Amy is somebody who I met online. She came to my retreat, and my retreat was actually one of the first times I've led a womb healing ceremony called a red tent. So it was the last day of our retreat, and we had done so much work, so much deep work, and we did the red tent, and then she went home, implemented all the things into her life, and her husband were having a huge lack of intimacy, a huge lack of communication. she had such an amazing marriage when she was younger in her 20s. And then as time goes on, she was taking care of her mom. They had children. They were both busy. They lost the intimacy and they lost that connection. But after the retreat, after the red tent ceremonies, she said that was the most powerful part of it, the womb healing portion, that her and her husband are now, they revived their sex life. They're happy. They're thriving now. And this is all through her taking care of her mother with cancer, with kids, watching her kids. So it's totally possible. If you're a mom, don't think that it's not possible for you to have this again, and it's not possible for you to feel this way and feel alive with purpose and passion again. She became in touch with her feminine energy. So she was also someone who was operating more in the masculine energy. So if there's any of you on here right now who feel like you operate more in that masculine, you feel like you have to be in control, you feel like you can't surrender and, allow the feminine to take over, it is totally possible with womb healing too. She knows clearly her needs and desires. This is also something that I've seen happen with womb work, is that you really start to become empowered in knowing what you want and asking for it, using your voice. Your throat chakra and your sacral chakra, where your womb is located, are actually very much connected. When you liberate one, you liberate the other. So just remember that. And she reclaimed herself. And one of my favorite ones is that people always see unexpected weight loss without changing anything, without doing anything different. Just by healing the womb space, we release a lot of weight, because a lot of the weight that we hold on to, it is rooted in our bellies. It is rooted near the womb space. And when you heal that, you're actually able to, because all weight is it's just emotional baggage that we're holding on to. It's all emotionally rooted. So most people do see unexpected weight loss without needing to change anything that they're doing. So that's Amy. She might be on here right now. She might not be. Okay, Blaze. So I actually am going to have my second session with Blaze at the end of this month, but we did our session a few weeks ago, and she immediately, she was like, that was awesome. I feel so connected. I've never felt that connected to my body, is usually what I hear. I've never felt this connected and at home within myself. Her sense of passion and her purpose is reignited in her career. All of a sudden, then she sent me another message about a week later, and she's like, Bianca, I have not seen this much money all year long. All these new opportunities are coming my way, because she sings. So all these amazing, incredible opportunities are flowing in, and she was just like in awe of all the money that was coming her way, because she really opened herself up and was able to get really clear guidance from her highest self. One of my favorites too. Emily. Okay, so Emily and I had a session. We were connected, and it was awesome. So what she said after the session was that she had this knowing of herself and her body like she never had before. That's our home. We're a soul in this human experience, in this human body, this human experience. And so often we go through life not feeling at home within ourselves. So that's one of my goals for you guys today, is to use these tools to really come back home to you. She was able to cut a lot of cords that were weighing her down in her life, in her business and relationships. She really did feel at peace, and like she was beginning to live in alignment, and she's translating this over into her business. And I'm really excited to see how it continues to blossom for her. I know she's getting all types of inspiration, all types of creativity. One of my favorite things about womb healing is that your creation energy is in your womb space. So your womb space is where you brew that creation energy, which is also your sexual energy. So not only do you spark up your sexual energy and your desire, but you can use that creation energy that can be used to create life with having kids. You can use that to create anything in your life. So you really get to learn how to harness that power. And then Cynthia, I see you on here right now. You're actually on the sidebar. So Cynthia experienced unexpected weight loss. I haven't checked in with her this week, but I know when we first checked in, she said she had lost an unexpected 8 pounds. And that was just like a few days after the session, which was awesome. She started speaking her truth and walking in her purpose, connecting back to her body and letting go of toxic ties. And I know one thing that Cynthia said is that things came up with the womb healing meditation that she did not expect to come up, because you guys, we bury stuff so deep that's happened to us, and we don't even realize how much it's affecting us in our daily lives every single day, how much it's weighing us down. So I'm excited to see what comes up for all of you on here today. Okay, let me take a quick break, check in with the chat box if there's any questions. Love to lose weight and heal infertility. Yeah, this is so good for helping to heal any issues with your period, with infertility, anything related to the feminine sexual organs and energy. Set the intention. Okay, yeah, you guys are setting intentions. Awesome. Okay, Perfect. Okay, let me get back to it. Okay, so these are just some of the benefits. So we kind of went through some right now with the testimonials, but hold on, I feel like I'm gonna hiccup. The beauty of doing everything live. So clearing space for creating your desire. So it's really important when you want to call things into your life that you actually have space in it and there's actually room for it to come to you. So that's one thing that we do with womb work. Raising your libido and increasing pleasure and sensation. Give me a hand raise if I can see right now if that's something you want to do. I know a lot of us on here, that's definitely one of the reasons why we're here. Enhanced creativity. You can use this for your business purposes. You can use it. Oh, yay. Oh, people can actually raise their hand on Zoom. Okay, I didn't even realize that. Cool. Enhanced creativity for your business. I know a lot of us on here are business owners or desire to have an online business, or maybe you have a network marketing company that you do, something of that sort that you do. Healthier menstrual cycle and balancing your sex hormones, which is so key for us feeling and looking our best. Release of emotional weight that manifests as physical belly fat, and then more abundance in all areas of your life. So that's a little background on womb healing, why it's important, what it can do for us. So now we're going to dive into the physical ways to heal. So what I'm going to walk you through first is cycle syncing. So some of you may have heard of this before, but this is one of my favorite ways, and actually the first way I started to heal my womb. So cycle syncing is working with your menstrual cycle. So we actually have 4 seasons of the menstrual cycle as women, and you can actually cycle sync whether or not you have a period right now. So I want you guys to know that for whatever reason you don't have a period, you can actually use the moon cycle. Women are lunar beings by nature, and our cycle actually mimics the moon cycle. So the moon cycle on average is 29.8 days. The women's menstrual cycle is anywhere from 28 to 32 days for a healthy cycle. So working with your menstrual cycle is super fun, and it also really it's something that I did to actually stop using hormonal birth control. So I use, I take my temperature. I can show you guys. I just do this every single day. Let me see if I can find my thermometer. It should be next to me. But of course it's not, so we'll find it later. But basically what I do is I do natural fertility tracking. I take my basal body temperature every single morning, and I've been doing this now for over a year and a half, and it's something that really empowered me. So I got off my hormonal birth control because I realized it was making me depressed, completely ruined my libido, and I just didn't feel like myself. I was so anxious, and if you feel that way and you have any questions about hormonal birth control, you can pop them in the chat box. We can talk about that later, because that's kind of a very extensive topic, and I do have a free masterclass on that. But once I got off, I realized that, I needed something that was going to empower me to, know my body best. And this is the first way I started doing that. So we have 4 seasons of the menstrual cycle. The first is our menstruation phase. So when we have our period, and then we move into our follicular phase. Our follicular phase comes right after, and then we go into the ovulation phase. And then our second half of our menstrual cycle is called the luteal phase. So it's the longest part of our menstrual cycle. So how you can actually work with this is you can work with this spiritually, and you can also work with this physically. So how I work with my menstrual cycle spiritually, is during your menstrual period. So on your period, that is actually the time naturally that you are releasing physically, right? So when you're releasing physically, you also want to be releasing emotionally and spiritually, meaning this is the best time to, cut cords, to let go of things that are no longer serving you. Because the more we hold on to, the more we feel like we're carrying this weight on our shoulders. So during your period is the best time to do any type of releasing, cord cutting, and really tuning into what it is you actually want. So during your period, your intuition is naturally heightened. So that is the best time to really tune in to your intuition and ask yourself if the things that you have in your life are serving you or if they're not serving you, and if you want to keep them in your life or not, because that's the time to release them. And how you can work with this time physically is to honor yourself. The most important advice I can give you about honoring your body during your period is to rest. Do not be doing any intense exercising. If you need to exercise, go for a nice walk, do some gentle yoga, maybe dance, do a little bit of movement if you feel like you have to have movement every single day. I'm that same way. But you do not want to be overstressing your body by any means, or else it's sort of like the more you go against what your body wants you to do, the more you get that pushback and you feel a disconnect with your body. So and you want your body to speak to you, because that's what your body does. Your womb is actually your inner GPS system. But the more we go against her, the more she feels like we're not listening and she's not going to speak up. So honoring yourself, doing all the self-care, resting as much as you can. And it's also a time where you feel very introverted. So you don't want to be scheduling all types of things to go hang out with other people and like going to a party or something like that. You want to be focusing on you and tuning inward during your period. And then you move into the follicular phase. So once your period ends, you go into the follicular phase. This is actually where your energy naturally starts to rise up again, because your energy is super low on your period, right? And then once you end your period, you start to feel like you again. You start to have your energy back. So that's when you can start incorporating more intense workouts. This is where you'll naturally feel more social in your follicular phase. So this is when you can, if you're in business especially, one of my favorite things is to plan launches, plan doing live streams, plan doing events like this, like my masterclass right now. I am in my follicular phase. I think I'm a few days into it. I think I ovulate in like 5 days or so. So you want to plan all those things where you need to be speaking, you are going to be like interacting with a lot of people. That's when you want to plan them. If you can plan your life around that, you'll be so happy and you will never feel burnt out. I promise you. So using that and understanding that you'll naturally feel more social and you feel more creative because your body's getting ready to create life, because every single cycle that you have, your body wants to create life. Your body wants to get you pregnant every single cycle that you have. So all that creation energy really starts building up during the follicular phase. So that's how I work with the follicular phase. And then in ovulation. So ovulation is naturally where you have those pheromones, those sex pheromones that are sexy and appealing and almost magnetic to other people. You will naturally be most attractive and you will feel most attractive when you're ovulating, which is kind of funny because that's when you can get pregnant. Your body's like sending out all those sexy vibes and you can actually make a baby during that time. So not only will you feel your libido will be the highest during ovulation, but you'll also feel best about yourself during ovulation. So using that to your advantage. Using all that creative energy, and this is actually when your masculine energy is as it is at its peak because your testosterone is at its peak in your body. So when your testosterone rises in your body, so does your masculine energy. So this is when you can hustle more. This is when you can get stuff done. So take advantage of that. So that period of, the follicular phase and ovulation is when you're a heightened energy and you can get things done and you won't feel burnt out. So using that to your advantage as well. And then you move into the luteal phase. So the luteal phase is the last half of your cycle. The last half of your cycle is typically about 12 to 14 days. It ranges a little bit for everybody, but that's on average is 12 to 14. And the first week or so, you will feel still that energy high. You'll still be feeling pretty good, but then you go into that week or so before you get your period. I'm sure you guys know what that feels like. You start getting those PMS type symptoms. PMS is not something that you have to deal with. It's not 100% necessary. Just because you have a period doesn't mean you have to have cramps, doesn't mean you have to get bloating, doesn't mean you have to break out before your period. That just means that your hormones are imbalanced. So when it comes to this time of the month, emotionally, how you typically feel, tell me if this is how you feel. You feel like nothing's going right. You feel like you can't get anything done. You feel very frustrated. You feel very overwhelmed. And you feel like nothing is working in your favor ever. Like you want to just break down and cry. Anything makes you upset. If you feel that way, you're not alone. That's just because during that time of the month is when your inner mean girl naturally starts to chirp up. She starts chirping in your ear. You're not good enough. You can't do this. Nothing goes right. And it's like that inner complaining part of you just wants to complain all day long because nothing's working. So you're not alone in feeling that way, but understanding and having the awareness that that's just the shift in hormones and that's just the spiritual cycle that you're on during your period. You can realize that all those negative thoughts, all those thoughts that tell you you're not good enough, you can't do this, are all just BS. So it's really empowering to understand how the mind works also during the menstrual cycle. So knowing that you can choose to rise above it, choose to believe a different story and tell yourself a different story. And if you are struggling with PMS, something that I recommend is that you start seed cycling. So this is another physical way to heal the womb space. Seed cycling is just using seeds to balance the hormones. I can send you guys a handout in here once I'm done. I'll send it in the email that I send with this replay. But essentially what you do for seed cycling is you do 1 teaspoon of freshly ground flax seeds and 1 teaspoon of pumpkin seeds during the first half of your cycle. And then once you move into the second half, the luteal phase, you do 1 teaspoon sunflower seeds, 1 teaspoon sesame seeds. You can add them to smoothies. You can put them in a salad, whatever feels good for you. Just take them by the spoonful, put them in water. That's the easiest and cheapest way to heal your hormones and heal the womb space if you're dealing with PMS. Something else to note about the luteal phase is this is naturally where you will want to plan things. You want to get everything set up. So this is when I like to get super clear on what I need to let go of during my period. So this is when you can set yourself up to have the best month ever the next month. Okay, let me get to the chat real quick. What we say in here is confidential, correct? Yes, absolutely. The only people that'll see it are the people that are on here or the people that are watching the replay, just so you know. But no one can see, I mean, I can see right now who's saying everything, but on the replay, I don't believe they'll be able to see the chat box. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll send that. Angel, will you write that down if you're on here right now for me to send the seed cycling handout into... What if I'm not having a period? How do you track these phases? Yeah, so how you track them is you would basically just track the first half of the cycle and then the second half of your cycle. Ovulation typically happens the middle of your cycle. I ovulate on day 19, but everybody ranges a little bit. But it's usually halfway through your cycles when you ovulate. So if you don't have your period right now, you can use the moon cycle. So you start with either the new moon or the full moon, and you do... The new moon is when basically would start your period, and then halfway through on the full moon is when you'd be ovulating, and then you do it that way. So you can use the lunar cycle if you have no period. I would love that experience, PMDD. Yeah, definitely it would help. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm happy you guys are finding this helpful. I'm about to go off hormonal. Oh, hold on. I have some people that are messaging just me. So anybody who's messaging just me, you might not be doing it on purpose, but I will get to those at the end. Okay. Yay. Okay, awesome. You guys are asking good questions. Yeah, also called natural family planning. Yes, fertility awareness method is what it's called to track your cycle. I take my basal body temperature and I track my cervical mucus. I have a whole webinar on that too if you guys are interested in that. It's about an hour long. I can send that over your way if you're interested as well. Just let me know. Okay, so that is cycle syncing. So that's one physical way to heal, and then also doing the seed cycling will be super good for healing because it's nourishing your body, nourishing the womb space. And then the second thing is yoni de-armoring. So this is one of my favorite things ever. This is something that really helped me to release sexual trauma and guilt that was stored within my womb space. So what happens in our womb space is we can actually store trauma, DNA from other people, DNA and experiences and negative experiences. All of that can be imprinted into our DNA inside of our vaginal walls. So unless we go in there emotionally and physically and release that, we hold on to it. And a lot of the times that's not our thing to hold on to. The sexual trauma, sexual guilt, embarrassment, shame, whatever it is, it's not yours to hold on to. You don't have to choose to hold on to it anymore. So yoni de-armoring was something that really, really helped me. So there's a couple ways to do this. So how you do it is picture this is your opening of your vagina. So I'm just going to like show you guys like this. I could show you a chart. I have a little handout that I can show you, but I think doing it like this might be easier. So picture this is the opening of your vagina. So this is the 12 o'clock point. So you use the clock as your guiding system for this. So on the opening, you start at the 12 o'clock point. So you're here, and what you do is you can either use, I'll show you guys actually what I have. I knew I put these here next to me for a reason. Okay, so you can use a yoni wand, which is essentially a crystal dildo, or you can use your finger for this. So this is a yoni wand. This is a cervix wand, to be exact, a G-spot wand as well. So what you do with this is the opening. And you can pretend this is also your finger. You start at the 12 o'clock. And what you do is you hold down and you press on that point until you either feel a release if there's pain there, or you hold on that point until you feel something. Because along the opening of the vagina, what can happen is you either have points that have a lot of pain, or you'll find points that are numb, where you actually don't have any feeling. Does anybody on here either feel pain or nothing during vaginal penetration, right? And something that happens with womb healing is when you do this vaginal de-armoring and you do the yoni de-armoring, what happens is that you actually start to feel more sensation vaginally, so you can actually have a vaginal orgasm rather than just needing to have a clitoral orgasm. Hold on, let me see. I'll pull up the chat box in case you guys are. Oh, okay. So yeah, Crystal wants are the best. Okay, Courtney, I'm gonna get to your question after I explain this. So basically, what you do is you go in, you go to the 12 o'clock point, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Do you get it? You go all around the clock at all the different points. You hold there until you feel a release or you feel something there. And what that does is it helps release all those points, because it's basically like vaginal reflexology. You're releasing. It's so important when you do this womb healing that you help clear everything that's there, and you invite everything that you want to stay there in. You want to clear out the old, invite in the new. Clear out the bad, invite in the good. You can use one of these. I can give you guys a link to a shop that's trusted that sells these, or you can use your finger. It's whatever works for you. You can do this by yourself, or you can do this with a partner. So it's totally up to you. But I think it is really important that you give yourself this time. Yes, you can't see me. Let me know if you can't see me for whatever reason. Can everybody see me? Do you need me to explain that again? Okay, I think people can see me, Kelly. Okay. I see you a tiny box at the top. Okay, I think if you click on my face, it'll bring me up. Like if you click like this, I think you can make me big. Now I lost myself. I don't see myself anymore, but I'm all good. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, perfect. All right, so that is how you do the yoni de-armoring. So basically, you just go, okay, let me go to my camera like this. All around, all clockwise, like that. Okay, so that is yoni de-armoring for the first portion. So that is just around the vaginal opening. And then we get, I clicked on your face and I turned off of you. Yeah, I can't see anybody else anymore. I don't know what I did, you guys, but I think just play with it a little bit. So now let's go into inside of your vagina, how to heal this space. So the G-spot. Are we all familiar with what the G-spot is? Let me see if I want to see everybody. Oh, there, you guys are back. Okay, awesome. All right, so we all familiar with the G-spot, or should I explain? So it is a pleasure center inside of your vagina. How you reach it is you go inside and you curve up like this, like a hook. Like a hook. So how you can de-armor this area is you go in and you curve your finger, or you use a wand that's already curved like this, and you go up and you'll find it. You go in and you curve is how you find it, Courtney. And how you do this portion of the de-armoring is super crucial to make sure you're doing it right. So the first portion is you press. So you're just pressing on it. So basically just like this. And then the next part, you do that for a couple minutes, and then you do a figure 8. So do we all know what a figure 8 is? You make that motion on the G-spot, and then you tap, and then you tickle it. So gently pressing it, tickle. And then you do the come hither motion. So that's when you go like this. You know that motion, right? And then to get a full release, you squirt. And I'm going to teach you how to do this, because it gives you a really, really powerful release. Everybody can do this. It's not only one person can, only certain people can. So after you do that come hither motion, what you do is you take your middle finger and your ring finger, and you go using the shoulder to move. You go like this onto the G-spot. So you'll find it. You'll know it's there. And you do that, and you have to fully be relaxed in your body, or else it won't happen. You have to be fully relaxed to experience the release, and make sure you go to the bathroom before, or else you're going to feel like you have to pee. So that's literally it. And you keep going until it happens. Everybody can do it. And it is a very, very strong release. Takes full relaxation. Mentally being present and setting the intention beforehand to release as well helps. Creating that mind-body connection is so key. because turn on starts in your mind, has to start in the mind. So start there and then move into the body. And then cervix de-armoring. So your cervix is actually where a lot of trauma gets stored. If you've ever had kids, what if you squirt naturally when you orgasm? Will this still help release? Yes, exactly. So the cervix actually holds a lot of trauma. So if you've ever had an IUD implanted, if you've ever had children, if you've ever had anything go on near the cervix, you've experienced trauma in your cervix and it gets stored there. So in order to clear that, what you need to do is, if you were doing the G-spot before, you probably need to change position. So basically like laying on your back with your knees up, holding your knees is the best spot, is the best position to reach it. So changing the position to reach it. And then you want to do that same thing, press on the cervix, and then you want to use like a scissor motion and go like this. So squeezing it in between your fingers. And then tapping, and then tickling. So tickling like this, and then scooping around it like that. And that's why it's so good to use one of these tools, you guys, because it can be really hard to do all these things on your own. Yeah, that's why Yoni wand is so good, Megan. Yeah, exactly. Mine sits pretty low so I can reach it, but if you have issues reaching it, definitely get one of these. And I think this thing's like $30-something, so it's a really good price. Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave the link for you guys. I'll pull that and give you guys my link to my favorite shop. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you these notes, and then if you have questions, yeah, cervical stimulation is very emotional, and the first few times it happened, I cried because you're releasing a lot. Some people cry, some people laugh. So if you do one of those two things, it's okay. Just know you're not crazy. Yeah, I'm going to send you guys these and the email as well. Rose quartz wand. Yes, I got a black obsidian. Black obsidian's good for releasing trauma, but I wouldn't start with this one, to be honest, because this is a very intense stone. I recommend starting with a rose quartz or starting with a jade, or if you want to start with, you can use a yoni egg. Yoni egg is not going to help you de-armor, but it will help you build up that connection with the womb. Yeah, my cervix used to a lot too, because it felt so heavy. There was so much trauma and so much pain stored there. And it makes the whole sex experience very painful. Yeah, I believe it, Courtney. We're going to help you out. We're going to start clearing some of this out. Yes, I know we've talked about that before. That's where a lot of the emotional release and healing of the womb comes into play if you've experienced a lot of trauma or you have a lot of pain there. So the last few things for physical ways to heal the womb. So that's my top two, yoni de-armoring and cycle syncing. And then next up is yoni worshiping. So screaming is one of my favorite ways to heal. So when your throat and your sacral are both connected. If you were to look at the vocal cords and you were to look at like the opening of the vagina, they look very, very similar if you were to look inside. So they mimic each other, and when one is not flowing, when the energy in one is not flowing, it will affect the energy in another. There's this saying, it's one of my favorites. It's like when the lips up here aren't speaking up, the lips down there will. You'll be feeling pain. It may manifest as yeast infections. It may manifest as bacterial infections, but they're both so connected. And when you liberate one, you do liberate the other. I know when I started healing my womb, my voice got stronger. I felt more confident in my voice, and I found my voice again. If you guys have been following me for a while, I used to be so quiet and just like so timid on video, and people are like, how do you talk? Like, and if you know me in real life, like I wouldn't say that I'm shy, but I'm also very selective about who I speak to. I don't like to talk to a lot of people. So, if you feel like that way too, and you feel like you're very timid and you feel like it's so scary to use your voice, I promise you this is going to help you really start using it. And one way that I like to do this is screaming. So this is something that I do in the car a lot as well. So if you ever see me driving in the car and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs and I look like a crazy person, I'm just trying to clear out some things. Whenever I feel heavy, I always do this. So screaming, and it's literally just screaming at the top of your lungs, will help clear out a lot of spaces inside of your vagina and inside your womb. Also, yoni sunning. This is another one of my favorite things. So sunning is essentially, if you have a backyard that's private, that's like the best place to do it. Or if you can find a window or like somewhere where you can actually get direct sunlight, the sunlight will actually help kill bacteria inside of your vagina, and it actually gives it that life force energy from the sun. So you have to be naked to do this. Maybe you need to wear a dress and just like spread your legs open and get the sun to come in there. But anyway, you can find a way to do that. Yeah, maybe try in the car, screaming, not sunning. Unless you want to sun in the car. Definitely, yeah, exactly. And a bright sunny room works too. And then yoni gazing. So this is when you get in front of a mirror. And what I like to do is I like to say mantras, or I like to say, affirmations in the mirror. And one of the best ways you can do, one of the best like simple little meditations and connection exercises you can do while you're yoni gazing is placing one hand over your heart, one hand over your womb, saying, I'm here, I love you, I'm listening. Any messages you want to send to me, I am receiving them. And, I'm sorry. Thank you for everything. And really speaking to your womb. That's just such a simple little exercise you can do. Okay, I'm catching up with your guys's. Yeah, I love that, Megan. Don't be nervous, Courtney. We have to like, it can be really scary to like face everything that's there, because not only are you facing, when you're naked, you're not wearing the masks of clothes, right? You're fully stripped down and you have to fully face everything that's in front of you. So it can be really scary. But the thing is, in order to really heal and move past this, we have to face that stuff that feels really uncomfortable. The things that we resist the most are what we need the most when it comes to this work. Whatever you're resistant to is what you need the most. It's the most powerful medicine for you. I can gently getting Yay, you guys. Courtney, if you can go anywhere and scream, or put your face in a pillow and just scream. Just connecting my voice. So much exciting me. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to try this. Semi recently and have been struggling to gain my voice again. Yeah, this will definitely help. And knowing that your voice is worthy of being heard and you're worthy of saying everything that comes to mind. That's just another thing just to release for the voice. Oh, yay. I'm so happy that you're here. So happy you guys are here. Yeah, and it can feel really uncomfortable. So if this is something that's like totally new to you, and you're probably like, who is this crazy woman saying to look at my vagina in the mirror naked? Trust me, I know I thought I was crazy too at first when I learned this. But here's the thing, it's that we all have private parts, right? We all have a vagina here. And it's something that brings forth life. And how can something that literally brings life into this world be disgusting? Because life is beautiful, right? Babies are beautiful. Bringing life into this world is incredible. And for us to have that privilege to be able to do so if we want, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's such a beautiful thing. And that's the thing about sex too, is if you have guilt and shame around sex, is that sex brings forth life. It creates life. How can something that brings into the world so much magic, like none of us would be here without a vagina and without sex. So when you start to look at it that way, and you start to realize that it's okay to feel uncomfortable about it right now. It's okay if you giggle when you say the word vagina out loud. It's okay if you giggle at these things right now, but knowing that you can 100% change how you feel about it. I used to be so resistant to doing any of this work, and I thought everybody that was talking about this was just disgusting, like, to be completely honest, and it was so weird to me. I grew up Catholic, so I grew up at Catholic school. I was always in trouble for doing so many things, always constantly shamed for being myself, and and wearing a skirt that was above my knees, showing my ankles, just like all these silly things. It's like I was slut shamed from the time I was like 8 years old, so I had so much trauma and so much work to do around this. And if I can get through this, I know anybody really can, because there's just so many, there were so many layers to this. And that's the thing about this womb work, is that it adds another layer of doing the work. So like when you're doing the work around this, you're saying the affirmations, you're doing the journaling, like that is all awesome, incredible work. But adding these physical pieces into it really brings forth full embodiment of feeling comfortable and feeling empowered in your body and owning this part of you. Because you can do all the mental work, but if you don't also bring in the physical, you're not going to bring forth that, that lasting change. It's that second piece, that other layer to it that goes even deeper. Yeah, we're all taught these things that, if someone chooses to believe that, it's their right to believe it. But if you don't feel comfortable with the beliefs that you have around your body, your sexuality, and your sensuality right now, you can totally choose new ones. You can create your life how you want it to be. You can choose your beliefs. That's a beautiful part of being human, is we have that choice. We are not stuck with having the same beliefs we had from the beginning. Yeah, it's inside. So if you're using, like, this is the vaginal opening, you go inside. So it's like right on like the entrance, I guess you could say. It's not fully in, but it's not on the outside. It's like right in there. Like, obviously can't show you guys the real thing because that would be weird, but it's like right here, if you can kind of see what I'm doing on here. Yeah, right at the opening. And you can feel around because everybody's body is different. Yes, we have similar anatomy, but not everybody looks the same. So playing around and finding what works best for you. Okay, so those are the physical ways to heal. Okay, so let's go into the physical process for caring for or pleasuring my yoni. What I do find is that it's never enough, never deep enough, and I get angry. Yeah, so you're yearning for more, searching for more. That's where the energetic, I think, will come in for you then. So what we're going to do, so how we're going to do this is so one way to energetically heal is cutting the cords, because as women, we actually all have cords towards with each other, energetic cords with each other. We have energetic cords from our mom, our mom's mom, their mom's mom, their mom's mom. It goes back all the way in our lineage. We're all so, so, so connected. So if your mom has bad beliefs around sex, if your grandma has really terrible beliefs around sex, or if they've experienced trauma, a lot of what you feel around sex and all the trauma that they felt, it may not even be yours, but you're still connected to them. So that's why it's so important that we take charge of our own healing. What we feel may not always be our fault. Our beliefs are not always our fault. They're just things that we've been brought up with. But it is our responsibility to help end that cycle and to choose something different. So we're going to cut cords, and I'm going to guide you through my womb meditation. So so this is what we'll do first, and then we're going to talk about writing. I can't talk today. It's like the worst way to do this. It's so funny. I've been saying things wrong all day long. But we're going to talk about writing letter to the womb, 2 different types, and a little bit on making the mind-body connection, because that's so key, because everything starts in our mind. So what we're going to do right now is you guys can get comfortable. You can turn off your camera if you want, but I'm just going to guide you through a meditation that is one of my favorite meditations ever. And some of you on here have done this with me before, but just get comfortable, close your eyes, start focusing on your breath, place one hand over your heart, one hand over your womb space just beneath your belly. I'll give you a second to get set up while I pull up my meditation for you. Okay, so start taking some deep breaths, feeling supported, not only by all your sisters on here, but also the ground beneath you, the seat or the bed beneath you. Feel how amazing it is to be in your body. I'm going to get comfortable just a second. Okay. All right, so if you haven't already, close your eyes, place one hand over your heart and one hand over your womb space. Let's begin by bringing your awareness to your breath. Taking time to breathe deeply, centering yourself. Allowing yourself to consciously take this time for honoring how sacred, magical, and worthy that you are. Breathing in through your mouth in a long, flowy inhalation. Let the breath rise up from your womb. Repeat this breathing pattern throughout the meditation. simply breathe and begin to bring your awareness to your belly, your womb. Spend a few moments consciously breathing deeply and fully into this space. And on your next breath, call in a deep red healing light. This light heals, blesses, and clears the womb of all that does not belong. And as you breathe out, release all that is no longer serving you. Now we'll begin the journey deep inside of your womb. Bring your awareness to your womb center. Just allow yourself to listen, to feel, to sense and experience this sacred space. Notice if it feels warm, cool, dark, hot, or bright. Do you feel any blockages? Any shields that you may have put up? Allow yourself to soften these blockages, to clear them, knowing that you are safe and there's no need to have these walls up. There may be feelings that you haven't felt in a long time, or maybe that you have never felt before. It's okay. Breathe into these feelings, moving them through your body and out of the body with your breath. Maybe you're noticing the cords that are connecting you to past partners, to past experiences. If these experiences feel heavy, bring forth uncomfortable emotions, let her know she is safe. You are here to clear these cords. In your mind's eye, picture a pair of scissors in your hands. And one by one, see the experience, see the person. Let them know they are no longer needed here. This is not their home. They can go in peace. They can go in love. Begin to cut the cords. Begin to breathe into this new space that you have now created. You are in charge of this space. You are safe. This is your sacred center, no matter what you may have been conditioned to believe. Maybe you've been told that it's shameful, that it's gross, that it's dirty, that it's inappropriate, something to be embarrassed of. You know this is not true. These are things that you've been told to dim your power, to convince you that you're not powerful. This is the area where your wild power is held, your creation energy, your sensual energy, your fiery passion for life. This is where you brew your magic. Just listen and allow yourself to experience your sacred womb. Be a witness to her magic. Breathe, listen, and hear the wisdom that echoes throughout this space. Let your womb know that you are here. You are listening, and you desire to connect with her, that you love her, and that you will never again doubt her wisdom. You're ready to let her guide you. Invite her to share with you any messages she desires to send, that you are ready and open to receive them without judgment, without blame, and without shame. Let her know you are ready to honor all of her, her ability to create life, her cycles, her expansion, her pleasure centers. You desire to be one with her, and you are one with her. Sit here for a couple minutes, taking in all the messages she is sending to you. Let the red healing light flow through your body and be still. Take a few more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And then if you want to share anything that came up for you, any feelings, any sensations, whatever you feel like sharing with me, you can go ahead and leave it in the group chat. I'll give everybody just a couple more minutes if you need it. Maybe how you felt before and how you feel now. Okay, let me start breathing. Mhm. Yeah, I always cry. I struggle with allowing myself fully to cry. Yeah, it's because you're fully vulnerable, you're fully open. And that can be tough when you've had to guard yourself, you know? But you're safe here. We have you. Feeling sensations. Yeah. And first, I'm sorry to share with you that you need. Awesome. Okay, I was able to confirm how much guilt's coming on this. And my shit closed down. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love that, Joanna. Yeah, a lot of letting go, right? Yeah, sometimes in the first time you may not get a lot of messages, but it's all about starting that connection. It's all about setting yourself up to listen and for her to be heard, because it's sort of like when you have a friend that is constantly trying to get into contact with you, and for whatever reason you're ignoring them, you're not answering them back, you're not answering the call, you're not texting them back, and they're like, okay dude, what the hell, why aren't you listening to me, I'm trying to talk to you. They feel hurt. Your body knows when you're not listening. Your body knows when you don't want to tune in. So recognizing that your body is only there to help you. She's only here to help you, and she is your guidance system. So when you can tune in and tap into that, it's so, so powerful. And the more you do this, the more you will feel connected. I think Angel's on here right now. She's done this now a few times, by her, on her own and also in a group setting. And I'm sure the more she's done this, right, right, Angel, you've been getting more and more messages and feeling more and more release each time. All of you. Yeah, it's so powerful. That's why I wanted to do this all together, because yes, you guys are I encourage you to do this meditation on your own. I have it recorded for you. But it's so powerful in this setting, because all of us as a collective together, like setting that intention to do the healing, to really come together and support each other through the process too, is so powerful. That potent energy. Yeah, that's what happened for me too, like negative sexual experiences. Going to me. That's the disconnected. Yeah, the more you do, the more it's going to come up, and you'll recognize like the power that other people have had over you in these situations, in sexual situations, in all situations, and how you were allowing them to take over and disconnect you from this power that you have within you, because that power within you is like the wild woman power. It's that potent energy that just always wants to be coming through, and she's so fierce and she's so powerful, but she doesn't feel the need to like dominate or control. She just allows to. It's that feminine fierce energy. All the people that had been holding on to me and split the womb that was connected to mine, my mom. Yes. Don't ever feel guilty about releasing people. This is your space, you guys. I know it sometimes it can come up that we feel guilty if we have people that, we loved, or we loved at one point, or we still love. You can totally totally let them go. I felt a big relief. I'm loving all of this, you guys. Such a connection to all this. Yay. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So something that I usually do, so if we do a womb healing session together after we do the meditations and the physical exercises together, because I do another thing too with everyone on like a private womb healing session. And after that, I usually give everybody time to journal. You guys were sharing in here, so you were able to get some of that out. But what I invite you to right now, if you need to write some things down, go ahead and do that. I'm going to continue for the last, little bit of our time together, but I definitely encourage you to journal tonight if you can. If journaling's not your thing, talking it out, maybe making a video about it, any way to just really to get all those things that are coming up in your brain right now, just get them out of your mind and onto into the world, into the universe somehow, whatever works best for you. I personally like to kind of just like talk it out with myself on a video, and I'm like, okay, now that makes sense. I understand why that came up. So something else you can do energetically and spiritually is to write a letter to the womb. 1, a forgiveness letter, and 2, a love letter. So they can be in the same letter, but definitely doing this is so good because you'll realize all the stuff that's coming up that you're just like, wow, I didn't even know I felt that way, or wow, I didn't even know I was harboring all this guilt or all this shame. And then for the love letter, just really pouring your heart into this and really just getting so clear on that relationship and the energy that you want to have with your womb space, how you want to feel in this relationship, because it's a relationship just like anything else. One of my favorite things. And the mind-body connection is really simply just recognizing that you can tune into that whenever. That power is infinite. It's not going to run out. It's always there for you. You just have to start developing that relationship. You have to rekindle the relationship, and that's by honoring yourself, honoring your cycles, doing this meditation. You can do it as many times a week as you want, as many times a day as you want. I'm going to send the, if you haven't gotten it before from me, because I do have it recorded, what I can do is I can just send it in an email if you need it. We can send them over with the recording of this. We're just going to send you a few things, you guys. So yeah, just really rekindling that relationship and honoring that relationship, because I think it's one of the most important relationships in our life, because it really does guide you, and your womb can be such a powerful tool for creation and everything of your life, and such a powerful tool to really step into your purpose, step into your power. So I'm excited, and thank you all for being on here and doing that with me. Let's see, that's pretty much it for what I wanted to talk about with you guys and guide you through. So what we can do right now is it's 6:36. What time did we hop on here? I can't even remember what time. 5:30, right? So one thing first off, I have a special offer for you guys. If you want to do a womb healing session, I'm going to do buy one, get one free for you guys. Anybody who was on here, anybody who watches the replay, one session's usually $150, but I'm going to give them to you guys for 2 sessions for $150, and I'm actually raising the price in 2019, which is so crazy that is literally like 5 days away. But if you guys want to get them, let me know. I will hook you up with the link. Angel or I can send that over your way. And yeah, I would love to have a private session with you guys. And those don't expire. You don't have to use them at a certain time. But that's just an offer I wanted to put together for you guys that I actually felt good about, and it feels good. Sessions are similar to this. So the private session is essentially so I call you on Facebook Messenger call. That's not really that's not really important, but that's how I do them. But how it works is you're laying down, I guide you through a physical release of the womb. And when I do the physical release of the womb, it's an exercise that we didn't do on here today, but it's one of my favorite ways to do it. And it sets us up for guiding you through a meditation, which is the energetic release after you journal. And then we talk and we clear the rest that needs to be cleared with speaking out loud. Most of the time, people just want to be alone after, because they're like, I just processed a lot of shit, Bianca. I need to be by myself. So I fully respect that, and I give people the time to, and then you could just message me after. But it's really, really easy. All you need to do is just show up, and I do all the guiding through everything. Okay, Kristen, I can't charge your card technically because it's PayPal, but I'm going to put the link right here into send to everyone. PayPal. It's just going to be a PayPal link because I didn't set it up on my website, because I literally just thought of it before. I was like, I want to give them something special that's not available anywhere else. Okay, so that's the link if you want it. If it doesn't let you click it, you can just copy and paste that. Yeah, I'll send you guys the link in the email. So if you want to do a private session with me, buy one, get one free, I will also include this in the email. Angel, I hope you're writing this down. Angel keeps me organized in life. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so anybody who wants to do this, I will honor this price for you guys, and we'll be perfect. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Angel. I love you. Oh, I muted myself. Am I still muted? I'm such a dork. Okay, cool. All right. So if you have questions you want to ask me privately, I am available by email. I just want to say it's so adorable about us that you're wearing a new pair. Honestly, Judith, I haven't taken any. I literally wear this every single day. I'm everybody needs to see it. Also, if you guys want your own sweatshirt like this, got you. You go any first, shop.
I know everywhere I go, I actually was stopped in the store for the first time the other day, and someone was like, I need that. And I was like, it's actually my sweater. It was so cool. Surreal moment. Okay, so yeah, if you guys have questions, I can be on here for the next 20 minutes. I'll stay on here and be available for you guys. If you don't have questions and you just want to hang, stay, hang. Yeah, so Kristen, we have t-shirts, tank tops. I have a crop hoodie. I have the shortest torso ever, so it's not very crop on me. It's like pretty, it's like down to my hip bones, but it's a crop hoodie. I think Angel has one too, so she can say how it fits her, but that's like the softest thing ever. This is just the regular crew neck sweatshirt, and then, so we have a racer back. We have a cap sleeve, right? A cap sleeve tank top. That's like, I have it over here, but I wish I could grab it. But yeah, I can just put that here. I'll put the link to the store. So we have a few different options and different colors too. And we're getting, yeah, it's longer than a normal crop. How far apart would you do sessions? You can do a session, I would say, yeah, Judith, we have a racer back tank. We have 2 tanks. Nothing that's super fitted though. I don't know, I guess I just also don't really wear that many fitted things. So I can totally add one though to the shop. I'm able to, hold on one second. How far would you do sessions? I would say you can do a session as often as you see fit, but I'd say probably about once a month, because you want to make sure you're integrating everything that comes up and working through it, and not just like thinking you need more healing. You want to make sure you're doing the integration piece. Do you have any resources, tools for healing your room in regards to clearing out or to prepare for calling in a beloved sacred lover? Yeah, this is something that's really fun. And I think I actually want to make some videos on this too, because this is something that has been coming up, is like, how can we use this to call in our ideal mate? So right now I don't have any made, but I totally want to record something, Amanda, and I can make sure everybody gets the info that was on here. Since you guys are now on an email like list of mine, anything that I come up with about wombs, anything like that, any free resources, I'll be sending that out. So that's an awesome idea. Have you had clients who were unable to connect with their womb? Yes, sometimes sometimes like in the beginning, people won't feel anything, but typically most people will feel into it. After the first time or so, definitely people will feel into it. I think Angel had that same experience. And I think too, part of it is, when we're calling in, I like totally switched gears here, but basically when you're calling in that new person, Amanda, I think the biggest thing is that with this, you're able to clear those cords that have been really controlling the way that you felt about relationships, or how you perceived relationships. I'm also taking this incredible course, you guys. It's called Understanding Men with Allison Armstrong. It's literally mind-blowing. I shared everything with my mastermind today that I've been learning, and I'm just like, what the heck? Women have so many reasons why we, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, her course is like literally the best thing I've ever watched. Let's see. Been intentionally celibate for over a year. Yeah, it's like you get so clear on what it is you're willing to tolerate and what you're not willing to tolerate, and how you want to feel. I think one of the main pieces is, yes, you can make that soulmate manifestation list of, these are the qualities that I want in somebody, but you have to take it a step further. And how does their energy feel? How is their energy separate from you? How is their energy with you? How do you guys like vibe together? How do you feel in his presence when you're drenched in the essence of the partner that you want to call in, man or woman? How do you want to feel? I think that's such a key piece to understand. Because it's easy to find those, like superficial qualities, like, oh, I want him to be tall. I want them to be, funny. I want them to be intelligent. Like, those are all, you have to be clear on that, of course, but you have to be so much more clear on the energy behind it too. I will say this, I was feeling around my vagina, feeling around my vagina subsided enough that I do not feel in the fridge. Oh my gosh, yay, Courtney, wins. Yay, and I'm excited to see. So sometimes what happens too, sorry guys, I'm getting like super comfortable, but something that happens too is initially, you will feel a certain way. You might feel very overwhelmed. You might be just like, how do I even integrate all of this? But the next piece, in the next few days, all of the integration, all of the other things that you need to hear will keep coming. So you may continue to get messages or feel things that you haven't felt before for the next few days. So just know that. Did you mean like with your finger or anything you had? No, so it's a little bit of a different, so it's like a somatic release exercise, Monique, the first session, the womb sessions that I do privately. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you or anything like that, but I guide you through a physical clearing exercise where you are physically releasing. It's not the yoni de-armoring though. I needed that relief so bad. This pregnancy is kicking my butt right now. Yeah. I'm happy we're able to get you feeling better already. I'm excited to see how it helps. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, I made that course. Yeah, you guys have to get that course if you're interested in understanding men. They also have understanding women, sort of everything. Yeah, awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being a part of this with me. Anybody else have questions? Are we like kind of good? I feel like it was kind of a lot of information. That's how it usually goes. And it's like, I need to go back and look through everything. We'll get everything sent over tonight once the recording fully processes on my computer. And we'll get that sent out. The replay will always be a bit, guys, what is up with me today? The replay will always be available for you. It's not gonna come down. I'm not gonna pull it off and for any reason. But if you have private questions, because I know some of us on here would prefer just to talk about privately with me, yeah, you can think about the session deal for a few days, of course. Just keep in contact with me. I know some of you may just want to talk privately with me, and I totally respect that. So I will be available by email, or if you reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. I'd say email is probably it's so funny. Who's making all those lines on the webinar right now? Someone's been drawing on it like the whole time. Like it's not me because I'm not touching it. Let me pull my link for you guys real quick for the yoni eggs and the yoni wands, because I totally want to make sure you guys also get them from a trusted source. So give me a second. I just looked at my emails right now and I have 123 as my email. I've been seeing 123, 143, 432. Like that's like the combos I've been seeing lately. Okay, so let me pull this up. Okay, I almost forgot I was on here for a second. I was gonna start singing. How funny is that? I've been like forgetting that I have headphones on. Nobody else can hear my music all day. And I'm just like singing at the top of my lungs. Oh my gosh, you guys, remember how I just said 143 was a number I've been seeing recently? My part of my link that I'm gonna send you guys, my affiliate code is 143. How funny is life? Okay, I'm gonna send this to myself and then I'm going to. Angel, can I send you something on Facebook Messenger and you post it in the chat box? Hold on, my Wi-Fi speaks stupid. Okay, I'm sending this to Angel. Give me a second, guys. Of course, and I need my Wi-Fi to be fast. It's not working. You guys are so welcome. Thank you for being on here with me, listening to me ramble for a long time. Okay. And showing up on this Thursday night, I'm sure you could have been so many different places right now, but you chose to show up for you guys, so you should be proud of yourself. And I am proud of you too for showing up. Okay, I sent that to Angel, so it's sent to her. She'll post that in a second. But this is my favorite place to go buy any yoni wands, yoni eggs. Breast crystals are also something that she sells. Like crystal tools for your face, like jade rollers, all that stuff. I remember you sharing the shop where you get your crystal wands and yoni products on IG. Is it the same we're talking about now? Yes. So it's also in my Instagram link bio. Oh, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, if you don't already, I can make that link for you. There you go. Let's see. You're so welcome, guys. Okay, I want to know who's coloring. Who's coloring? Will someone own up to being the artist of on the screen? It's super funny. I want to know who's doing it. No one wants to own up? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, right, lines, drawing lines. like, how do you even do that? Kristen, I don't even know how you did it. So I don't know how you erase it. It's super funny because it's happened a few times. I'm like, who's doing that? Okay. No, you're good. Don't apologize. I think it's kind of funny. Keeps getting up. Are you sending link for Gemstone and email too? Yes. And I think Angel just put it into the chat box if you want to pull it right now, or it's going to get sent out in the email tonight. Okay, well, if you guys don't have questions, I'm going to hop off because I need to eat something. Okay, thank you so much for being on with me. I appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Always reach out to me if you have questions, anything else that comes up. Please share it with me. I love to hear anything that happens for you guys after this. And yeah, you'll get that email with everything tonight. And I hope you all have an amazing night. You'll probably sleep really good because you did some deep exploration of your body. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye.